news in high definition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to 12 News First Edition on this New Year's Eve. I'm Jeena Cadigan in for Don Gray. Our top story tonight, state police say skeletal remains found yesterday are believed to be that of a woman who's been missing for nearly 10 months. According to troopers, the remains were found in the Seneca Creek area of the Monongalia National Forest in Pendleton County and are believed to be that of 24-year-old Cassie Sheets. Sheets was reported missing back in March after being separated from two men while on a hike at Spruce Knob. The remains have been sent to the state medical examiner's office in Charleston. Stay with 12 News for the latest on this story. Now turning to this developing story out of Marion County, where law enforcement are still investigating a reported shooting from yesterday evening. 911 officials tell 12 News it happened just before 7 o'clock on Y Street in the community of Baxter. Officials also confirmed that one person was shot, but they did not say what their condition was. No one is in custody at this hour, and no other additional information has been released. And a two-vehicle wreck this afternoon in Clarksburg ended with one vehicle going into a park. It happened just before 4 o'clock when Clarksburg police say a truck pulled out of Hall Street onto Milford Street and collided with a sedan. Officers say the sedan then went through the fence of Steely Park and then stopped. Kids were in the park playing at the time. However, officials say no one was hurt. Those involved in the wreck were also not hurt. Now to the latest on the battle against COVID-19 and the highly contagious Omicron variant. New public health warnings against gathering in large groups for New Year's Eve celebrations are in effect tonight, but there's also some reason to be hopeful as we look ahead to 2022.
As 2021 comes to a close, the nation grappling with its greatest number of new COVID-19 cases since the start of the pandemic. The U.S. now recording an average 316,000 new COVID cases a day, prompting fears hospitals could get overrun.
It's the worst we've ever seen it. Numbers are crazy. Our staff is scared. I don't know that we have ever seen anything like this.
Cities like San Francisco and Atlanta scrapping their planned New Year's Eve celebrations, while New York City is scaling back its Times Square crowds by 75%. Only 15,000 attendees allowed, all required to wear masks and be vaccinated. Pediatric hospital admissions hitting record highs, nearly 386 children being admitted every day. The CDC releasing a trio of studies bolstering the data that vaccines are safe and highly effective for children. One finding that among hospitalized 5 to 17-year-olds, fewer than 1% were fully vaccinated. 30 million eligible children have yet to get their shot.
And know that children, even though they tend to have a more mild case from coronavirus, they can still absolutely get a severe illness, get hospitalized or worse.
But amid the dire numbers, some promising news. COVID deaths in the U.S. are down 11% in the past week. And in South Africa, where the Omicron variant was first detected, the country's saying it's now past its peak without a big spike in deaths. And more good news. A source telling ABC News the FDA is likely to authorize Pfizer boosters for 12 to 15-year-olds as early as next week. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Washington.
Fast-moving wildfires swept through Colorado on Thursday. Hundreds of homes were destroyed by the flames, but there is some good news. There are no reports of serious injuries. Authorities say the late-season fires were extremely dangerous because of a perfect combination of intense winds and arid conditions. Dan Sheneman has the latest.
After fires swept through parts of Colorado, this is what's left.
In the blink of an eye. This was a disaster in fast motion.
Authorities still calculating the loss.
I would estimate it's going to be at least 500 homes. I would not be surprised if it's 1,000.
In just a matter of a few hours, the flames spread, feeding on dry brush and fueled by 100-mile-per-hour or more winds.
This is crazy.
Those in the path of the blaze forced to flee.
It was pretty shocking. The winds were blowing embers all over the road.
Mark Smith was running errands with his family. They couldn't get home. They had no time to pack.
As we got closer to our street, the smoke was so thick that it was too much to try to drive through that. So we turned around, stayed safe, and left.
Entire neighborhoods reduced to ashes, forcing many families to welcome the new year without a home. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
In other national news, 6 people were shot in Philadelphia last night. Police say they got a call for shots fired just after 11:30. When they arrived at the scene, police discovered a 21-year-old woman with several gunshot wounds. First responders rushed her to the hospital in critical condition, and more victims showed up later at area hospitals. Police say more than 65 shell casings fired from 2 weapons were found at the scene. They say that because so many shots were fired, that it's difficult for investigators to figure out who the intended target was for the shooting. Police in Naples, Florida, had to put down a rare tiger that was attacking a worker at the Naples Zoo. When officers responded to calls for help last night, they found a man in the grasp of the 8-year-old tiger and were forced to fire 1 round to free the victim. The man, part of a third-party cleaning crew, apparently entered a restricted area and got too close to the tiger's enclosure and reached through the bars. A zoo spokesperson said the zoo has never had an incident like this happen, but that they supported the decision made by the officer to save the man's life. The extent of the man's injuries have not yet been released, and an investigation is underway as officials look at a possible criminal charges in the incident. Tensions continue between Russia and the Ukraine, and now the White House says it's keeping an eye on the escalating developments and hope to ease tensions between the 2 countries. We'll have the latest after a quick break, but first, look who's back. It's meteorologist Jason with the end of the year forecast.
That's right. All right, thanks very much. You know, the year really couldn't get any worse, so hey, why not finish it with me doing a little bit of weather. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, just in for a couple of days. Thought I'd pop in and say hello, and let's talk a little bit about the weather. Great weather today as far as temperature. We've got a pretty strong cold front that's going to be coming in that's going to give us good opportunity for some wet weather, maybe even some heavy rain. Take a look at this. A lot of north central West Virginia right now under a flood watch until very early on our Sunday morning. So let's keep that in mind over the next 24 to 48 hours. Right now, looking up in Morgantown, skies are cloudy. There's a few light showers around. So, if you're heading out, obviously a lot of folks going out being New Year's Eve. Just watch. You might have a few spotty showers here and there. Temperatures are pretty good. Morgantown right now at 57 degrees. And we do expect for the rest of the evening, the temperatures are kind of hover in the 50s with a few light showers. Looks like that rain will really start to pick up late tonight, tomorrow, maybe even a few strong thunderstorms, and then some really cold air by Sunday. That forecast in a few minutes. We'll be back.
For end-of-life decisions, anyone can make a referral. Call West Virginia Caring today to start the process.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas from the Miley Legal Group.
It's football season, and Bergerum is your place to go for the games. Over 10 large screen TVs, both college and NFL. It's on at Bergerum. Great food and a full bar, we got that. Bergerum, your football game watching headquarters. Great food, just right.
The pandemic has made everything cost more. That's why Joe Manchin is trying to responsibly put more money in our pockets without busting the budget. Cutting taxes for working people, universal pre-kindergarten, lowering healthcare costs, investing in local businesses, and creating thousands of jobs. Paid for by out-of-state billionaires and big corporations. Joe Manchin is making Washington spend wisely and putting West Virginia first.
Navigating the wilderness of cancer treatment is frightening, challenging, and stressful. But with the right tools, preparation, and people, you can gain sure footing, stay on the right path, and reach your goal. Everyone at UHC Cancer Center is on this journey with you, every step of the way. Learn more at wvcancercenter.com.
For children fighting critical illness, we can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Help us make every wish come true.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas from the Miley Legal Group.
Follow Snowbird and WBOY Storm Tracker 12 throughout the weather season. Brought to you by Schaefer Medea Law. Working for you. This is 12 News First Edition.
Welcome back. We have lost many famous celebrities and noteworthy figures in 2021. Let's take a look back at those who we've lost this year.
Blossom of snow, may you bloom